Have you ever heard a story so powerful it feels like it could reach the stars? Well, today I want to share one that actually did. This is the story of ntej, a name that would soon be etched not just in history books, but on the surface of the moon itself. Growing up, Nsam's world was filled with her grandfather-esque stories of Laos, of majestic mountains that touched the clouds and vibrant jungles teeming with life. He would tell her in a mix of Hmong and English, "My child, the Hmong are not afraid to go far. We are a people who walk. One day you will walk farther than any of us." At the time, she couldn't have imagined just how far that would be. Fueled by these stories, Nansan poured herself into her studies. She earned scholarships, broke barriers, and eventually did the impossible. She was accepted into NASA's Lunar Pathfinder program. She was the first Hmong person ever to do so. Of course, there were doubters. Some people didn't even know who the Hmong were, but her grandfather's words echoed in her heart. The Hmong walked to new lands long ago. Now it is your time. On July 22nd, 2048, the colossal rocket Aurora X stood ready. As the final countdown boomed across the launch pad 10, 9, 8, and TXAW's heart pounded against her ribs. Inside her helmet, she whispered a promise in Hmong to her grandfather. "Yog, Cov Mus Lawm, I'm going now," with a deafening roar that shook the very ground. The rocket tore through the atmosphere, a silver arrow against the black canvas of space. All over the world, from California to France, from Laos to Minnesota, Hmong communities watched, their breath held in a collective moment of pride and hope. A Hmong aerospace engineer was on her way to the moon. Their mission was to build the first communication relay tower on the far side of the moon. As Nsom descended the lander's ladder, she was greeted by an unreal sight. The lunar surface glowing silver in the silent, star-dusted universe. She placed her foot down, and the ancient dust of the moon shifted, as if acknowledging the weight of this historic arrival. A crackle of static filled her helmet as she spoke the words that would inspire millions. "Mission Control. This is Pathfinder 3. A Hmong woman has touched the moon." Her voice wavered with emotion as she planted a flag. She designed herself a white cape mountain, a silver keege, and our blue earth shining in the background. In a soft whisper meant for her people, she said, "For all the Hmong we have arrived." Later, during a quiet moment, Insom pulled a small device from her suit. It was a mini keege sound module, a digital treasure built by her grandfather before he passed. She pressed a button, and an ancient, soulful melody drifted across the barren plains of the moon, a sound this world had never heard before. It was the song of her ancestors, a song of migration from the mountains of China to the shores of America. And now to the Sea of Tranquility. The keege had reached the moon, but space is unforgiving. Suddenly the ground trembled. A rare moonquake shook the surface, kicking up clouds of dust and toppling equipment. Alarms blared in her helmet. Danger. Suit seal compromised. Her team's frantic voices filled the comms. Her oxygen was leaking. She had only 40 minutes to fix the relay tower and get back to the lander. But fear was not an option. She remembered her ancestors' people who built homes in cliffs, survived wars, and crossed oceans. They endured, she whispered to herself. "I will endure." Thinking fast, she improvised. Using spare metal rods and sealant pads, her hands moved with a desperate, steady focus. With her lungs burning and time running out, she secured the final bolt. In that instant, the tower activated, casting a brilliant blue light across the lunar horizon, a signal of success. Back on Earth, Mission Control erupted in cheers. In her helmet, her team cried with relief. She had done it. She survived. During the final broadcast to Earth, Nitsom spoke in 2 languages. To the world, she said, "We came to explore the moon, but I also came representing a people often unseen." Then she switched to Hmong, her voice filled with love and pride. "To my Hmong people, you are a strong nation with a deep history. We have walked a long, long way. Today I walked a little farther for you. Across the globe, millions of Hmong people wept tears of joy. When she finally returned to Earth, her first stop was her grandfather's grave. She placed a small sealed container of moon dust beside his tombstone. "Grandfather," she said, the wind whistling softly around her, "you were right. The Hmong traveled far. I traveled all the way to the moon for us." And in the gentle breeze, she could almost hear the faint, sweet song of a keej. Thank you so much for watching. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of human courage and exploration. See you next time.